Uh, here's a recording. Great. Head of PR, head of content marketing, head of all sorts of other things. And really, it's just all about you guys. I mean, that's what, I woke up this morning. I'm like, okay, I've got some bosses and I've got, regular stuff. But I'm like, I'm actually just doing it for the members. That's it. I am a member advocate like no one's ever seen. Sue is too. That's why we do this show on Wednesdays, because we want to highlight anything and everything that's going to help all of you to be more successful and happier.
Exactly. All right. So we have two amazing guests today. So let's start with ladies first. Karen, go ahead, a quick introduction on yourself and we'll get started.
I have to first of all say thank you. I am seeing my friends here. You all stood up and stood out for me today, and I am just blessed and honored that you could come. And I'm about a minute away from crying. So let me just get through this. I am a STEM teacher. I'm in my classroom. I just sent my children out so I could be here. I have a love for entrepreneurship. I teach entrepreneurship to seventh graders, the future of America, which in some cases is kind of scary, but I'm doing my best with them. I am a market partner with Mon8, and I have a couple of other side gigs going on, but I'm primarily a fitness instructor and an educator. So thank you and welcoming everyone. Beautiful
Awesome.
day.
I got to meet Karen in person in Pennsylvania, and I also got to meet Eric, who has one of the biggest success stories on Alignable. Eric, quick introduction.
Hi, everyone. Eric Bell, and I run my effortless marketing and shift in marketing. I am based out of Portland, Oregon. And a fun fact about me, I served in the United States Marine Corps for 4 years, and that kept me busy and led me to the path I'm on now. And I've been on Alignable for going on 3 years now.
Awesome. And let's stay with you right here because I want to just blow everybody out of the water with your success story because I literally talk about you pretty much every day. So go ahead, take it away. What is your biggest success story on Alignable?
All right. For those of you that know me on Alignable, I always talk about this. I was blessed with a $200,000 project that is still going on. We're going into the second year. And I basically just networked on a Smart Connect and didn't expect any business and just got to know the other person. And about 2 months later, I got a call from them saying, "Hey, we need a good marketing person. Are you available for projects?" And I said, "Absolutely." And we got to know one another, and I got introduced into the company, and it's been a good partnership ever since.
Awesome. So while we're on the Smart Connect, and I'm going to ask Karen also, what was the key? Like you met him in a Smart Connect. What actually happened during those 6 or 7 minutes? What did you talk about? Business? What did you guys talk about?
Yeah, we talked about family and kind of the things that we were into, which is me, marketing, of course. Um, and I really just got to know the person with these smart connects. Sometimes you just click with somebody and both of you realize it, and then you continue on well after the smart connects and do business together because it's all about who you know, like, and trust.
Exactly. Karen, do you have any stories about Smart Connects? Anybody you met?
Absolutely. Almost everyone starts in a Smart Connect, I feel. We're a mastermind. I've been blessed by so many wonderful conversations. And ironically, I have not once talked about what I do. We just talk about each other, find out about what makes you tick, how we can help each other. I let the other person talk. And I'm a talker, even though an absolute introvert. Nobody believes me. Put me on the computer and I'm an extrovert. Not really sure how that works. I feel like I'm a fake. but,
Fake
yeah, so
introvert.
but they come to me, and I love the fact that I'm always welcoming new people. I made the mistake of going away from Alignable for 2 weeks, and I came back to 174 requests for connections. And it was a little overwhelming, but I got it done. And every single one of them had a personalized message.
That's amazing. Oh my
Take
God.
notes on what you're talking, because we don't remember. We need to take notes when we're on Smart Connects because we think we're going to remember, but we forget because we're getting old. And I just make notes on everybody's conversations, and I'll say, oh, I said that with Paul Odendahl. I remembered a while ago his wife was ill, and I said, how's your wife doing? And he said, I can't believe you remembered that. It's because I wrote it down.
Wow, interesting. No, I love this. The biggest question I get from people is how do you use Alignable? Like what is your daily routine almost on how you keep track of everything? Eric, do you have any tips?
Yeah, to go back to what Dr. Karen said, I think the biggest secret is responding authentically to all of your invitations to connect. I'm not a big fan of using the generic things that come up. So just trying to find something that you have in common with the other person by looking over their profile before you accept them, make sure their profile's filled out. And it's a good introduction, and you can find information to talk about just based on accepting their invite.
That's a great one. That's a really good tip. I actually, my friend Sherry said that's what she does. She goes and looks at people's profiles before she even writes anything to them and picks something out that she can mention. That's a good tip too. Awesome. Chuck, what questions do you have for these two? We'll just take
Oh
turns.
my goodness.
Oh,
How
and by the way,
fun. This is
if anybody in the room has a question, put it in the chat. We'll try to get to your questions also. Just put the questions in the chat. Go ahead, Chuck. Sorry.
I want to know, and I do know Karen's story on this. Maybe I don't know the Hollywood true story on this because we've only talked about it in passing, but Karen, talk to us about why it is that premium's a big deal. Like, how does that unlock things on Alignable for you?
I was introduced to Alina by one of my college friends who I hadn't seen in years. And I'm sure that I got accidentally invited by that email that occasionally comes through, or okay, often comes through.
Often,
And I
often.
said a yes. I said yes to Alignable. And within 5 minutes, I used my 10 connections. And I said, I need more than this. I immediately became premium that day. I didn't even think twice about it. It has been an investment in my business. And ironically, I did this in 2019, right before the craziness started. And it could not have been a better decision because we were doing all of our business online,
Wow.
100% of it. So it was
And I'm
truly a
just
blessing.
I'm noticing a great comment from James Clemens. Premium plus, or you're just playing.
I probably should do plus because always out of connections. I'm always begging for more.
Oh my.
Well, you're doing very well. I mean, you are like the networking. I don't know even what the word is, the networking guru to talk to. I mean, and that's bringing more networking your way too. So,
I think
what do you
people
think?
need to be people need to be heard. I
Yes.
believe positive words of affirmation is a love language. We all are we want to be validated. And if you respond to someone's post, or if you notice an orphaned post where no one has said a word, not even a like, my heart goes out to them because I've been there and I think, oh my gosh, nobody's seeing my stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe if I activate the algorithm, more people will start to go. And that's really what's happened. It's being hit by a dam. And then once a dam is pushed through, other people are going to see it and it will push it out to other people. So you really have to learn to work the algorithm.
That, that's great. I love that. I've never heard of the finding the orphan post. That's a great tip. Oh, I like that. Eric, how about you?
Yeah, I can't say enough about making sure that you do authentic communication. So just going through and making sure that you're connecting with that person with authenticity, and just help them, tell them that you're there, have a servant's heart, and give more than you take.
I love that. I love it. Did you have another question, Chuck, that went along with that?
Well, I wanted to follow up. You know, guys, I spent years as a reporter before even going into PR, so I want to follow up with Eric on the premium question. You know, because you're obviously a great marketer. How does premium fit in for you?
Well, I have Premium Plus, and I feel like it's a requirement for my business. I use all the credits every month, and I also am an ambassador and a moderator for the All Things Digital Marketing group. And as much as I can, I try to greet the people that come into our groups and our ambassador program and people that come into our alliances. So authenticity, the Premium Plus really helps with that. And then just the reporting alone, being able to see who's clicking on your profile, who's being able to see what you're all about. I mean, all that information is there if you're on Premium or Premium Plus.
That's a good one. Absolutely.
100%
So
agree
it
with you
pays
on
for
that one, Aaron.
itself, basically.
100% agree.
Oh yeah, the first success story I had probably paid for itself for 10 years.
There's a
You
quote.
know what's
There's a
funny?
quote.
Everybody's
Somebody
worried
go
about it
back and
always.
get that.
It's so much more than the connections. I think that's when I was like, I need more connections, but that's because I was just starting. But since then, it's given me the ability to moderate. I have a group that's called Turning Your Side Hustle into a Career, and that's really been awesome. I'm able to be an ambassador. I'm able to do so many more things with the insights, which are incredible. I brought them up and showed my seventh graders. I teach entrepreneurship class, and I brought it up in class the other day, and they told me to stop flexing. That's a new term. Apparently, you're not allowed to flex. I cracked the heck up. I said, "You all asked me about my business. I'm just telling you." I was flexing. The nerve. Mhm. Welcome to my world.
I love it. Yes, those insights is really good. Also, the My Network page, the networking coach that you get. So, have you either of you have any experience really with using that AI networking coach and helping getting people introduced to each other? Karen, you're shaking your head.
Yes, I did. Our alliance is growing, but it's not too big. We're in a fairly rural area. It's pretty much cows and occasionally there's a person. But getting people to come to our events has been challenging. So what we've been doing between Seth Goldstein and myself is we will use that tool to find people in our area, say hello, introduce ourselves, invite them to come to our events. And that to me is gold right there. Making connections, not just with ourselves, but introducing them to others. The referral network is incredible with Alignable.
I love it. Eric, how about you?
Same. The AI tool is pretty cool. So if you don't know someone, you just tell it and it will try to zero in on the people that are most likely to be friends of yours. I don't know how it does it. It's cool. Um, but yeah.
That's awesome. I have either of you seen, and it's so funny because here I've been on Alignable for a long time, and I was going, oh yeah, I forgot about this. If you go to if you're a premium plus, I think it's premium or premium plus, you get access to those 5 different types of coaches that are on your membership page. You have one for marketing, one for virtual assisting. Have either of you used that and found anything cool about that? Either one of
I
you?
have not yet, but I will now that you're telling me about it. I
Oh my
have to go
gosh, so cool.
exploring.
She'll
It's
do
so
it
cool.
before
That's
the end of this thing, right?
Now I'm going to be up till 5 in the morning instead of 4.
Oh no.
Eric, have you tried any of that stuff?
I have here and there, but I didn't realize there are 5 AI coaches. So now I'm gonna have to check them out and try
Oh
to
my,
break them.
I yes, it's pretty awesome. If you just go to your membership and if you're on the premium plans, you get access to that. And it's so cool. It's like, oh my gosh, way better than just going to the generic chat GPT. These are all focused on different things and it's pretty amazing. So
I
Yeah.
cool.
did use the AI for questions though. And Alignable AI is really good for questioning. So if you don't want to bother somebody, you can just get the AI and they're pretty good. Their answers have been pretty good.
Yeah, the other thing that I saw, I don't know if either of you have tried this, when you go in and you can, if you want to touch base with someone, and you can use the AI networking coach to help craft a message to the other person. I started noticing that it's so smart because it looks at that person's, I'm just imagining this AI bot looks at that person's profile and yours, and it actually makes suggestions on things you could do together, how you could work together, an event you might want to put on. I'm like, whoa, I didn't even think of that. So I don't know if you've had any experience with it, but it's been really fun. So,
For sure.
yeah. Oh, you guys were talking about being an ambassador. I
Yes.
know there's some people on here, there's some brand new members on here that probably don't really even know about that. Can you share just a little bit about what you do in Pennsylvania and in Oregon? Eric, you want to go first this time?
Sure. So in Portland, we offer in-person events. It's been quarterly is how it has been working out, but I'd love to have them monthly. And then we have the Smart Connects every month. And I'm also trying to get an educational content for the group. And Sue's been gracious with her time, and she's going to be um, meeting with our alliance tomorrow to talk about all the new features and things that are happening on this awesome platform. And then, of course, what I would say too, if you have any time to give back and become an ambassador, the only requirement besides giving your time and helping the community grow is that you have at least a premium membership. I think the reason speaks for itself. In order for you to lead, you have to be able to see the navigational dashboard and see what's going on so that you're able to help others.
Awesome. Thank you. Karen, how about you? Tell a little bit about being an ambassador.
This is my 4th year as ambassador and my 1st year with a co-ambassador. My schedule doesn't allow me to have daytime events, and that was really hurting our alliance. So when Seth Goldstein came on board, he kind of spearheaded the daytime events, and I'm more in charge of the Smart Connects and the evening events. They've been wonderful. We've seen people coming back again and again. It's forming community. I still feel we are desperate for community, getting together with people who we know, like, and trust. They pop off the screen all of a sudden. They're not 2 inches high. They're like life size, like a Barbie. And you just, especially me, but you pop up and then there you are, life size, and you're able to share your knowledge. We do about a 20-minute, I do it myself, an education part of our alliance time, and we allow the people to ask questions. Many of them just don't get it. And Alignable is wonderful if you know what you're doing. But when you come in for the first time, I was a little confused too. But I've grown with it, and now it's second nature to me. And I like to share my knowledge with others and give them a chance to have a voice and ask questions and be answered immediately instead of having to write to somebody and wait 2 days for a response.
Awesome. There is a question for you while you're on here. I don't know,
Mhm.
check if you saw the question from Paul. It says recommendations from people you know drive 5 times more referrals to your business. How has recommendations received during our contest affected your business growth? Actually,
I
either
am
go ahead.
Real quickly, we both have to answer that one. My recommendations are insane. I have over 520 at this point, and I've deleted 100. And the reason I deleted them is because they didn't have a reason that made any sense. I just got rid of them. It doesn't look good on me for accepting them. It doesn't look good on the person for giving them. So I go in and I just get rid of them. You don't need them. But it has definitely drawn people to me because it now goes on everyone else's notification feed. Every time I get a recommendation, everybody in my network and everyone in that person's network gets to see it. And that then allows for another forge of a bond for new people to become connections with each other.
Awesome. Eric, do you have anything to say about that too? Recommendations?
I can trust and just helping people. I never ask for the referrals, they just come. And I count them as a blessing, and I know it helps with my profile and just building trust within the community, which is everything for me.
Awesome. Chuck, did you have a question?
I do. I do, building off of this. I do want to, because we are smack dab in the middle of the contest, which really is networking on steroids. It brings everything together on Alignable. You know, whether you want to network or not, the contest basically reaches out and grabs you and tries to pull you in and say, no, this is fun. Let's do it. So what has the contest done for you, Eric? Like, why is it important for people to participate? Whether it's just voting or, competing in a friendly way in your community or writing these great recommendations along with the 10 votes everyone has. What is it that people need to know about?
Yeah, I personally think it's a great way to reward the people that have helped you and the
Yeah.
people that you know, and help give them a boost. It's a nice award when it comes and it goes on your profile. And it's just a great opportunity to show people that you're active in your specific community. What do you think, Dr. Karen?
I'm with you on that. I did notice, obviously, 10 votes doesn't go too far. They don't go too far. But once you're finished with the voting, if someone that you really, really want are thinking, oh, I would love to give them a vote, but I can't have any votes left, offer a recommendation, offer to meet with them, find out more about them. And to me, that's worth even more than a vote, because that becomes part of your legacy on your Alignable profile forever until it's changed. So I've definitely seen that has been a positive. And I decided not to work the contest. I'm letting the contest work for me.
Nice. Very nice.
Same
And
here.
everyone, that's because Karen works Alignable, or lets Alignable work for her all year long. Like, she's doing a lot of the right things and getting the positive exposure, joining the right smart connects, being an ambassador, leading a group. I mean, all of those things.
Summer.
So, that's where the contest is more of a culmination for her. But for the newbies, I'm always like, guys, get involved in the contest. It's one of the easiest and really one of the most fun activities along the way. And who knows, you might become your local business person of the year. We've had people in the audience here, and the stories are just fantastic, who've said, hey, I didn't even know I was on Alignable until I got votes in for this contest. Or I won my local contest and I said, everyone's congratulating me. And I'm like, I didn't even know I was in it. So that also, it cuts through some of the clutter too. And that's something that you want to keep in mind. And I do have a little offer in here for anybody who is not upgraded yet. Please, I did some arm wrestling with the powers that be about a week ago, and this is a first month free on premium. Sign up for premium using the code that I have in here. And again, if for some reason you can't use that code, just reach out to me at chuck@alignable.com. Several people have. I was telling Sue, someone watched the tape from last week over the weekend and reached out. So please take advantage of that. That's really what I would do as a brand newbie, saying, gosh, I don't know, it's all so much and these guys are so involved, and be like, nope, start with that. And
Yes.
and then
Yeah, can
keep
I add
asking for
something?
help.
I think the contest was a paradigm shift from my involvement on Alignable 3 years ago.
Wow.
Someone
Wow.
who I knew, I'm serious, someone I knew pretty well. We were conversing fairly, I'd say maybe once a week or so. She nominated me and I said, what are you doing? What does this mean? I don't have anything to do with this. And she said, no, I nominated you for your community. And I said, oh, thank you. What am I doing? Like, what do I have to do? How much does it cost? And she said, it's free and you get 10 votes. I said, okay, great. And then I just voted for 10 people and the magic happened. So the first year I ended up with, I think, 18 votes and I won in my community. The next year I had 68 votes, won in my community. Third year I had 172 votes community and I was 13th in North America. So I just watched it like grow and grow and grow. And I'll be honest, I've never asked for a vote from anyone. I refuse to.
I love
And you
that.
got introduced. I didn't know that part of the story.
Mhm.
See,
I
we're
don't know
learning
what it
more
was.
every year. Yeah.
No
Awesome.
idea.
One other thing, you guys, when you're while we're on the topic of premium, just so you know, we had a premium only office hours group where you could just go and talk to one of our awesome team members, Kathy. But we have now expanded this group. It's called the Alignable Members Only Member Success Network. If you are a paid member, you don't have to be, you can be the paid official member, premium or premium plus, and you can get invited into that group. We've already scheduled a special mastermind in the group. You still get time with Kathy to ask specific questions. So basically, you're getting like really small group help. I'm also posting some special events in there. I might be reaching out to one of you two to do some events in there that are only for that group, and some Smart Connects and special members only events in that group. So if you want to be invited, if you're already a member, or if you upgrade, make sure you just message me or email me, sue@alignable.com. Either one. Messaging is easy, then I can just find I can just invite you straight from Alignable. But let me know so I can get you in that group, because really big things are going to be happening in there. So cool. Now I want to ask a question, because I get this question all of the time. People say, well, how do you manage your time on Alignable? I mean, you see some people are there on all the time, like I'm here all the time, but I work here also too. But what is their time? I know my friend Sherry, she's like, she gets up in the morning, she's on here all day, but not everybody can do that. So do you guys have like a procedure or a system, and make sure you do certain things like, what's your tips on just managing your time on Alignable? Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I always have it open and I have the app on my phone. So if you message me, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to respond back within 5 or 10 minutes, if not right on the spot. Um, the other thing that's interesting about this is making sure that you go through and respond to the people that are connecting with you. So that that might take an hour out of your week, depending on how big your network is. For me, I have it open all the time because it's fluid. It happens on a, I don't know, hourly basis at least. But I don't want to overwhelm people because not everyone's going to have the same type of network that I have. Everyone's different. So it kind of aligns based on where you're at. And the biggest thing I want to say is everybody wants leads. That's why we're here. But if you don't have a game plan or the infrastructure to capture those leads, you're just going to be missing out on opportunity. So come up with a plan and make Alignable a big part of it, and you'll benefit from the rewards.
I love it. How about you, Karen? What's your schedule? How do you manage all of that?
Well, I'm an early bird and a night owl. So you'll frequently get messages from me in the wee hours of the morning or at 5:45. So I make sure that I have my hierarchy is I first answer messages. I think that's the most important part because they are people you know, and they obviously are contacting you for a reason. The second thing I do is I check to see if there are any connection requests, and I make sure that I go onto their page and see what's going on. Notifications to me are the most important thing. But I have to say, I have found some notifications that were missed. So if I were you, like you accidentally clicked mark all as read, which we've all done probably once or twice a week, scroll and just see if you got your people, because you may have missed something along the way. And then finally, I go through any posts that I've posted. I go back in and revisit to make sure that there's nothing that's sitting there waiting for an answer. Because people, like I said, they like to be validated and let them know, hey, she's listening to me, she's answering me. That's important. I want to maybe strengthen this relationship a little bit further.
Oh, I love it.
And I
Awesome.
have the app too. The app is wonderful.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, you get a lot of people wondering. I mean, and someone else was talking about communication, says communication and follow up is a must. Do you guys have a system on how to follow up and nurture those relationships? Because here's something. Here's what I get to talk to a lot of brand spanking new members in my I'm on Alignable Now what I'm doing almost every day now, everyone in Alignable University group. Everybody write that down if you are not in that group. I'm doing events every day. So I get brand new people coming on Alignable. They're just, they're not quite sure what to do. And but they have a mindset of social media. And we all know Alignable is not social media, not even in the least bit. But they have the people that have the social media mindset where the marketers of the world that do social media, they're like, oh, you have to post and you have to promote yourself and you have to put out your stuff and you have to be, basically advertise your business everywhere. But they come on here and they think they're supposed to do that, but they're having a really hard time understanding what do I post in groups. Do you guys have any tips on that? Eric, go ahead if you want to go first.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't post sales or don't talk about your business as the main topic. Try to give morsels of what you know and what you're an expert at that will help people, because the time will come when you talk about business. This just isn't a platform designed for that, and it really turns people off if you do that. So, my biggest tip is just try to share your knowledge and just give back.
I love that. How about you, Karen?
Definitely offer something of value. And if they see that you know what you're talking about and you would like to maybe stretch it a little further, always give them a call to action. So if you're interested, drop interested in the comments or drop a heart in the comments. Like, people love to know, like, you put a post out there and there's no call to action, people won't do it. We're rule followers, most of us. And if you follow the rule and you are funneled in, sorry, that was not nice. You're funneled into an area where you are led to something else. You say to them, hey, if you drop a comment, I'll give you a free brochure or whatever. If just something you have to help them along the way. People like to know that there's help on the way.
Right. But be careful with that too, in my opinion. Like, here's what I've seen people do too. I'll see people post something like, hey, I need a website. I'm not quite sure what to do first. And then you get the people that say, oh, I'll give you a free consultation. Here's my contact information. I'm amazing. You should hire me. So there's like a fine line between saying, go ahead and contact me and I'll give you a free consultation. That really means I'm going to sell you stuff. So you got to be careful. So making sure that you're offering value without expecting anything in return, like what Eric just preaches all the time about having a servant heart and just wanting to help people. And making sure that you show up, because and posting questions that your biggest challenges, post questions that are going to get people talking. And because we know that if we have a challenge in our business, so do 1,000 other people. They have the same exact question. We find that in my Friday mastermind all the time. Someone will ask a question and everybody in the room has the same question. So Alignable has two things. They know that you build relationships, and that's how you end up getting referrals, and from people that know, like, and trust you are the best form of advertising, right? But then also Alignable was also built to share and help and support each other, because we know that's the key to success, right? Is talking to people that have been there, done that. That's why we do this show, right, Chuck?
Exactly. And I have a really good question for everyone. And you can answer it any way you want, and in the chat too. Okay, by the way, there's a whole activity going on with the chat.
I know.
It's like my agents have come in here from my contest agents have come in and they're like, Chuck, say this. Oh, you didn't say that. Do this, do that. Love you guys. Thank you for that. That's not the question though. The question is, what has community meant for both of you on the platform? Because we can, oh, I've got chills just talking about it, soon, but hair standing up on my arms. What does community mean for you on Alignable as a small business person?
Do you want to go first, Eric?
Nope, ladies first.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. This has become a big part of who I am. And there's always somebody awake on Alignable. And I feel as if I'm having that opportunity to reach out at any moment, but you have to be careful because it can become a full-time job. And just limit yourself to however many hours a day, not 8, not 10, just be kind to yourself. And knowing that that community is there to support you. So if you have a question or if you have a comment that you'd like to make, there's always somebody out there who will support you. And it's been really amazing for me. Thank you all for your support. This is a prime example of the support that I have of my people.
Yeah,
I
it's
asked
hard to
everybody
follow. It's hard
to
to follow up with that one. That's a great statement. I can't tell you all the friendships that I've made all the way from Sue to even Dr. Karen and I talking last week to get to know each other before this. And the sense of community is definitely what Alignable is all about. It helps you when you're up, it helps you when you're down, it helps you with reality checks, and people will tell you if you're willing to accept what they have to say. So community is amazing here.
Awesome. And I want to bring this up because like I said, again, I'm around a lot of brand new members of Alignable. And then when we got in here before this started and people coming in, we've got the people that we've known but there's a lot of brand new members that many may be introverts. They don't know how do you guys as long-term Alignable members, and you have this community, is there something that you do or you could ask the other people that are already big on Alignable to embrace the new members, especially the introverts? And then could you give maybe those brand new members some tips on how to get into these communities and get into becoming friends with people like you guys? Would love some tips for them because I know we have some brand new members on the call today.
Use the dashboard. The dashboard is huge. It gives you suggestions on new members. I go there every day to see if there's anyone new who's joined Alignable, and I do my best if I have any requests left to reach out to that person. But I do have a tip. If you are out of the ability to connect with people and you're in a group, you can still communicate with them in the chat. So if there is a question that was posed, you can respond to them and say, hey, listen, when I get the availability to contact you, I will reach out to you as soon as possible. So do you use the groups, find your people, and really cultivate that relationship. So it's valuable, extremely valuable.
Yeah, and I think when let's say you guys, let's say you're a new member and you're in a group and you're seeing that Karen or Eric are talking, you can talk to them in there, and then I would go to the group and reach out and actually connect with them. But the biggest thing, and actually I'm going to ask you guys, I'm not even going to give my tip. When you do send a connection request, what do you say or do? Do you just send the request and with no thing, or what do you say? Karen, you're shaking your head.
Never. That's the last thing. It's empty. You have to personalize, find out something you have in common. You can use AI for that, but see how you can reach out to them and give them, how can I help you? Not this is me. What can I do to help you with Alignable? I saw that you're new. Are you part of your local alliance? Do you know what an alliance is? Do you know who your ambassador is? I'll look up, I have a spreadsheet. I can go find out who the person is, connect the two of them. And that to me is really, really a great tip. And it helps them help themselves lead the way. You can give them, but then you kind of give them their wings and watch them fly.
Awesome. And Eric, any
Yep.
tips for brand new members?
Yeah, so don't be afraid to make a genuine introduction. I typically, for every one that I write, it's going to be different based on who you are. And then I just say, I'm here to help. Feel free to schedule time with me if you want. And I put my calendar info into the chat. And if I'm working on any new projects, I always ask, what do you think of this project?
I love it. That's a great
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
So the other thing you guys can do, like even today, so everyone in this room today is here and you all have something in common now. You've actually learned the same things. You've heard the same questions. You've read the things in the chat. Go back after this event is over and look in the a column there that shows all the 100 and whatever people that registered. And then there's also another tab that says who attended. So go there and actually connect with the people that were here today and have a conversation, especially you guys who are new. Connect with these two, and you can see in the chat, we have some of our best, most successful members, some that we've actually interviewed that are giving great tips in the chat as well. So a few tips for you newbies out there. All right. Any other, did you have another question? Was there any in here that we need to ask them, or should we get to some more tips?
I think maybe some more tips. There's just a great conversation going on in here overall. I mean, Susan, you just had a great post here. I'm just going to read this, and this is building off of the community topic. Community on Alignable is where I love being with the people who want to be here with the same heart. See, there's the other thing. I do want to bring this up. I brought it up the last couple shows we've done, Sue. But you know, that expression that has plagued me my whole life, which is nice guys finish last, is completely wrong, unalignable. Nice gals and guys finish first here in the contests, in everyday existence here, in their businesses. Nice people like working with other nice people. So bring your nice side, and hopefully that's mainly that's overall who you are, and really go to town here. Susan goes on to say, caring for one another is a big deal. And sorry, it just shifted. I didn't want to take the time to shift down, but it's amazing and it's true. It is completely authentic and true. So, Dr. Karen, what do you think of all of that? Like for the newbies, because you gave a great news story. For the newbies, what's the main thing they need to do?
Well, Susan and she was one of the first people I met on Alignable 6 years ago, and we are still to
Wonderful.
this day amazing friends, and we have shared highs and lows together. I believe that finding your people, like I was saying earlier, and you just had reiterated, is really important. If we don't have like attracts like law of attraction, I think that if you, how do I explain this in a good way? If you aren't with your right people, you can decide like this is not the place for me. But I found that this was a place for me because I found my people. And I even found people who I didn't know were my people who found me. And I think that's really it's like cyclical and it's beautiful. One big happy party here in Alignable, the platform with a purpose.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Too
Love
I
it.
good. I'm
love
going to
it.
stop taking notes here. I need to be engaged here. Yeah, you give me two. I'm going to take notes for the whole thing.
Were you gonna say something, Eric?
No, I echo what Karen just said for sure.
There's a question here that someone just posted. How do you follow up with older connections? How do you stay connected? It's hard once you start getting a lot of connections. So how do you stay in touch with them? I mean, I know that the My Network page is a really great place to go through and organize, but do you guys have a follow-up system? Because that again, people are so used to social media where you just the whole thing is about getting millions of followers and never talking to them, but that's not what Alignable is about. So what's your follow-up tips? I would love to hear that. Eric.
I use it. Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead. I've
Oh,
been going for
yeah. So you can go into your directory and look people up or go and scroll all the way down to the beginning and just, if you have something to say, message people and say, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. Want to check in and see how you're doing. The other thing is when you're on the homepage and you put out content, everybody in your network, it's going to go to their feed. So you are staying in touch with them if you do that on a regular basis.
Interesting. How about you?
Yeah.
How do you
Well,
think?
I started a spreadsheet a million years ago, and I do have a follow-up column. I put tags in there so I know if there's someone who reaches out to me and says, hey, I'm looking for somebody who does this. I can put that tag in, it will hit me right to the right spot. I keep track of when I meet with people and when I'd like to follow up with people. I think that's huge. I use the CRM that's kind of built into Alignable, which I really like that. And that's all part of the new dashboard with the network. So if you haven't tried that as a premium member, that's another perk. I would definitely go in there and see what's happening. And that's what I've been using. And it really does work for me, although I'm running out of room in my spreadsheet. So I've now done linking spreadsheets on the bottom with different tabs, and it still works. But I love to use Excel and Google Sheets. That's been my saving grace to keep me organized.
Interesting. Awesome. And again, everybody knows, and when you have your My Network page and you go, actually, if you click on anybody, if you go to, let's say you go to one of these guys's, or one of the people in your network to their profile, there is a place where you can write some notes, and there's a place where you can create tags, like, you can come up with all kinds of different tags to organize your list also, which is also a great thing to do. Let's see, anybody else in there? What else do we got for them? What else do you got? Let's ask you guys, what other tips do you want to say, or any
What
other?
are we missing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what else did you want to make sure you tell everybody today? Your best secrets. Do you have
I've
secrets?
got one.
Story.
Yeah. So one of the things that I noticed that people do when they're in a group or talking through their network, if you've got something great to say, make sure you say that, but don't put at the end your spammy stuff, because that great idea kind of gets turned into a turnoff when somebody says, I've got social media tips for you, and then go to my website to learn more. That's not the idea. So that's one tip.
Love it.
And my tip is to get involved in your local alliance. Now, at our alliance, we have tried something which is really super fun. And I brought my old bags from presents, and inside each of the bags, I put a gizmo from the house, like crazy things. They had to go up and pick a bag, take out the gizmo, and talk about themselves from the perspective of whatever they pulled out. And it was really cool. The one guy took out a lint roller. I thought, what the heck is he going to do with this? And he said, I'm a photographer and my job is to make my clients look their best. It was
Wow.
gold. And if they couldn't figure out what to do with it, the peanut gallery jumped in and helped them. So like nobody was alone on the island. Gilligan's Island. Just throw that out.
I love it.
He's the skipper.
That was coming, Ginger. I knew that was coming. Oh my goodness.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Get
So-
involved with your local alliance and figure out how you can become part of the leadership. That just in itself is a huge thing for your business. So getting involved and participating and helping your local businesses is awesome.
100%. Yeah, it's just showing up. Like I always say, the secret to success is showing up, and it's kind of the same. Like you're talking about the local alliances, and then you've got all of these groups on Alignable with events. So I do a mastermind with Sue event every single Friday. I've been doing it for 4.5 years, and people show up. One of the number one requirements is you have to stay the entire hour with your face on the screen, actually participate. And it's my friend Sherry always says this in her events when she does any events. So you got people that come to things like what we're at right now, and they don't put their face on the screen. They just hide behind their their name on the on the little Zoom thing. And she says, people, you don't go to an event with the bag over your head, do you? Right? So yeah, what I notice is when I do my events, which I do like every day, even the brand new members that come over and over again, and then they wave and they say something and they talk and they participate and they smile, it makes such a huge difference, just showing up and doing the same thing in the groups as well, making sure your picture's there and all of those things. So lots of great.
So could I segue off of that? I was on a call yesterday, and one of the members was saying about being present, the importance of being present in the meeting. Don't be cooking and don't be chasing your child. Don't have like the Blair Witch Project where there's activity everywhere and it's really distracting. Even though you're only 2 inches high, it's really, really distracting. So just be present in your space. Give that person the undivided attention. Let them speak first
Oh, I love it.
and ask good questions.
I love that.
There's
Yeah,
nothing worse than being distracted and make eye contact. Like you were saying, it's so important just to really look at them. Don't look away,
yeah,
which
that's the
for an
same in
introvert's hard.
the same in the smart connects, this especially, right? You know, being on screen and being interested. I know one of the best stories that I tell when I'm doing my networking talk is about that when to be interested, you know, it's better to be interested than interesting, right? When you're interested in another person, all of a sudden you become interesting, right? So listening more than you talk. You know, you have two ears and one mouth, right?
That
And people don't
that
even
is
know how to use the
exactly
mute
true.
button. After all these years, you think we know how to use a mute button. I mean, turn it off when it's not your turn and then turn it on when it is your turn. It's not really that hard.
There you go.
That's true. That's true. We have two little questions that people asked here, and I know we have just a couple minutes left. One was from the peanut gallery that are the again the my agents in the contest. One is Chuck, what surprises do you have for the contest? Well, one just unveiled this week, which was the first interactive national leaderboard that we have had at Alignable for 3 years, and the first one in this particular contest. So please check that out and go to your leaderboard. You have something, a little promo up at the top of your profile. Hit see leaderboard, and you have the choice for local, and you have the choice for national. Click the button for national, and you'll see, and you can vote for your friends who are on there, and if you're on there, other people can vote for you right there too. So that's very exciting. And that surprise, in fact, I'm going to be talking about in the newsletter this coming weekend. But also, I have cooking that I really want to take all the success stories that I hear, some that I've already heard, and try to weave those into contest success stories too and pitch the media. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me. I'll be reaching out to a number of different people along those lines too. But I really want to blow it out this year, and that's the plan. The second question was to Eric from Sweet Paul O. Eric's question: based on your amazing success, what do you hope will be your alignable legacy for the future generations of members to know? Now, you're still a very young guy, though, but again, a legacy is a legacy.
Oh, I hide it well. Um, so thank you for that, Paul. I guess the legacy I want to leave is just being able to make a difference to members. And the difference could be a tip or helping them with their business or being able to say, hey, I made this friend here on Alignable and just making a difference.
I love
So that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
it.
Eric, could I add one thing about the legacy?
Yeah.
I think the importance of including the next generation in our events as ambassadors. Sue came to my college, Rosemont College, out on the main line of Philadelphia, and I invited the college seniors to come to it. And they were completely overwhelmed with the whole event. They didn't know what to do first, but it's teaching them the importance of networking. I think that's important to get other people involved, even if they're not members of Alignable yet, to get them in, include them, bring a friend, bring a guest, check them in. Like there's all these great things that can happen when you attend an event. We just have to
Love
get
it.
people there.
Awesome. Well, we're at the very end of our thing. I gave some tips in the chat. You guys could save the chat. Tips to do. Connect with these two for sure. Go and after this event and connect with them, connect with each other. go visit Alignable University and join any of the events. I'm adding more new ones every single day. If you upgrade to premium or are paid members, any of the paid memberships, or if you already are, you get to be in the all new amazing members. It's called the Member Success Network, literally launched today. So that's pretty exciting. Use up all your votes, right, Chuck? Use your vote.
Yes, and if you're not premium yet, please take advantage of this great offer. I know I sound like a salesman. It's really just for you. Take advantage, embrace it, and see what it can do for you.
Awesome.
And get 50 more votes.
Get more
Yes, and
votes.
get more
Vote.
votes, 50 more votes.
Earn those badges. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you. Everybody go by the Alignable University and register for next week's event. We have amazing other people. And again, thank you, Karen, Eric, and Chuck. You're awesome.
Excellent. You guys
Bye,
were
everyone.
awesome.
Thanks for
It was
being
great
here.
being here. Thank you, everyone.
What a great event.
Awesome.